Hi, welcome to 5 Minutes of Torah with the BI Rabbi. I'm Rabbi Adam Stein. You've gotten to hear from Rabbi Infeld from camp for a couple weeks, so back to me this week. We're unfortunately back to that time of year here in BC, in California, and elsewhere where we're hearing about and sometimes smelling these awful wildfires that are raging. There's tons of fires around British Columbia right now. Every day on the news or in the paper or on the internet, we're reading about them. There's a local state of emergency now on Vancouver Island because of these fires. I just read this morning 2 huge fires in BC merged overnight, and now it's one big fire that's over 300 square kilometers. It's a really scary thing, and to see on TV the people who are being affected by these fires and just see their homes or maybe farms or animals really be buildings go up in flames and animals running and people running and rushing away in cars. It's very scary. Now the weather, of course, again, these hot days that we've had recently, many places breaking records for heat, not helping with the fires, the dry heat. It's supposed to shift a little bit tomorrow, and I certainly hope it does, and that helps the firefighting struggle. There are also huge fires in California, where I'm from. Last year, I was just watching as the biggest one, this was near Pasadena in Glendale, the biggest one in California history just kept growing and broke the big record. And then the one that's going on now, only for 2 weeks, after 11 days, it had already broken that record as the biggest one in the state's history, 450 square miles. It's hard for me to figure out hectares, acres, square miles, square kilometers, because the news reports combine all those terms. But either way, it's huge, and huge. So thankfully down there, they have like 14,000 firefighters, and they broke 50% containment of that fire, and we can only hope that it gets less and less. Now, one interesting thing I noticed yesterday, even from space, the smoke can be seen. You can see pictures. I saw it on the CBC website. Yesterday I saw one of the astronauts at the International Space Station sent out pictures that he or she saw of the smoke all the way from the International Space Station. Last thing I want to say about these fires before I connect to some thoughts from our tradition is that you can actually, a couple websites have done this, say take this fire, say the one in California, and you can superimpose it on a different area in the world on a map. I took that fire, moved it up to, they said it covers this much of New York, this much of Los Angeles. I moved it up to Vancouver, and it covered Vancouver, Surrey, Richmond, Burnaby, all the way to New West and down to White Rock. So thankfully these fires often aren't in very big populated city areas, but they're in areas where a lot of people do live, and it's really incumbent upon us to think about them and do what we can. If you're able to donate to the recovery efforts, I urge you to do so. These fires, though, make me think about the role of fire in our tradition and other traditions. Fire plays such a big role in our lives as there's a natural producer of light, of warmth. Until a certain point in human history, just maybe a few hundred years ago, for most of human history, fire was the only thing that provided light or warmth at night. And now we have all sorts of other ways, but it's a major thing for humans, for animals still. But there are positive aspects too. We have the light and the warmth is necessary for us as human beings, but religiously and for other cultures and religions besides Judaism, it plays a special role. We have blessings over fire at the beginning of Shabbat and holidays. We have blessings over the fire at the end of Shabbat and holidays for Havdalah. The Talmud says that fire, the lights of the Shabbat candles, is what provides what's known as Shlom Bayit, the peace in the home, that we see each other, we see the eyes of our family members, and we're able to relate to each other and get along. And you're not tripping over each other at night. So perhaps this can be a reminder that there's so many parts of this world and of nature and even of ourselves that have both positive and negative aspects. And as humans, for example, we have a good and an evil inclination, and we try to strive to go towards that good inclination all the time. And let us hope that we can contain these fires and concentrate on the positive things that it brings us, the light and the warmth and the peace. We'll be lighting fires together, these small kinds of fires, to bring in Shabbat. Tomorrow night, I wish you a Shabbat Shalom, and for next week on the 17th, I wish you a Shabbat Shalom again. We'll have our last Shabbat with a difference at our shul for this summer, our fourth one, and it's a wonderful service. We'll have music during Snack and Yak from 5:36. Wonderful musicians up on the bima with Debbie, our Baal Tefillah, and Rabbi Laura Duan Kaplan leading us in song with these great musicians, and then a wonderful dinner outside, if the weather holds up. There might be a few spots left for dinner, so do call our office if you want to get in, and please come for the service either way. Shabbat Shalom.